I used to dream of visiting every country in the world until I set foot in Nepal. Well, that's when everything changed. I stopped chasing bucket lists and started embracing slow travel. Here's how small Nepal looks on the map. Most people only know it for Mount Everest, but the truth, it's surrounded by 8 of the world's 14 tallest mountains. Still, we're not here to summit peaks. This is my 3rd year visiting Nepal, but this time, I didn't come alone. I decided to organize a group trip across the Annapurna Circuit, my favorite trek in Nepal, which I've done with friends 2 years ago with our bicycles. I want to walk this time. In the end, only 5 people said yes. And each one brought their own story. Meet Jordan, he saw my post, got excited, and messaged me right away. But life had other plans. He got sick just on the first day, and then there's Katrish. She messaged me back in 2019 and said, let's go to Nepal someday. I replied, I can't afford it yet, maybe in 5 years. Well, here we are.
Umiiyak. Sabi nila, hindi namin kaya. Sabi nila, ano bang pinaglalaban?
My name is Dessa.
Dessa's the adventure junkie, always outside, always chasing the next thrill. This is JM, the geologist, obsessed with rocks. Every stone we pass, he got a fact. And this is Krishna, our funny guide from Alpine Rumble Trek. Now, picture this. 4 strangers, no luxury, no filters outside our comfort zone, just us. Walking through landscapes where the mountains rise so high, they make you feel small. What happened next? That's the magic we came here for.
I've never found this anywhere else.
Touchdown Nepal. Took us back in Nepal for the 3rd time. I didn't expect that I'm gonna be here again, and I'm so excited for another adventure. And yeah, touchdown Kathmandu. I booked this private room for now to rest for the next few days. Yeah, it's gonna be a long adventure. We landed in Kathmandu, and for the first time, I met the people who'll be joining me on this adventure. Before heading into the mountains, we explored a few temples in the city, just a quick wander, and had a short meeting to get to know each other. Are you excited to see? Takot ka sa unggoy?
Hindi naman, baka lang makuha yung mga gaan.
The reason why it's called Monkey Temple because
Actually, it's a Swambhunath.
Ah,
Swambhunath.
Swambhunath.
And the tourists, they start coming and they see the monkey and they start calling Monkey Temple.
We're in Bezazahar right now. Kamusta naman ang mga biyahe nyo? Intro pa lang to.
Tiger Balm, shout out sa'yo.
After 10 hours of finding road, now we're finally here in Chame to rest and have dinner. Up in Chame, now we're going to Lower Pisang. I've done this route before, but on a bicycle. So this time, I decided to skip the usual path and start at a higher altitude, save a few days, and go straight to the good part. We took a bumpy jeep ride from Chame to Lower Pisang, and I mean bump, but it was all worth it. Because this stretch is one of my favorite parts of the entire trek. It's here the Himalayas begin to reveal themselves. The first glimpse of those snow-capped giants. Most people get here on their 6th day, but we arrive here on our day 2. The road was mostly gravel with hiking trails in between. Technically, you can ride a jeep all the way to Manang, but we decided to walk. So we're gonna start in Lower Pisang. It's our day 1 right now, going to Manang. It really feels different right now since I'm walking. I used to cycle here at sobrang iba na nilalakad ko siya ngayon by foot compares to when I did it before by cycling. And right now na nakikita na natin tong snow peaks. I think we're 2 hours away to Manang and we're almost there. And good thing We started in Lower Pisang. The view has started to become scenic here. The ascent is just gradual. Banayad lang yung ascent papunta sa Manang. So, chill lang. And look at this. We're surrounded by different rock formations, limestone, snow peaks around, pine trees. Speechless. Trekking is part of the magic, and we needed the acclimatization. Manang sits at 3,500 meters above sea level. We stayed there for 3 nights, not to rest but to adjust. Manang is a beautiful base town with cozy tea houses, great food, bakeries around, and lots of character. The perfect place to let your body catch up with the altitude. From here, the road ends and the real trek begins. Sa nararamdaman mo ngayon?
Ako okay naman po, inaantok lang. Pero this feels fuzzy. It's the best thing that ever happened.
Ikaw?
Medyo masakit yung ulo.
Pero lalaban.
Pero laban with Baroka.
The next morning, we hiked up to Annapurna Lake. It was a short but steep climb. Around 3 hours in total, and at the top, we were greeted by a breathtaking view of Manang from above. 3,800 meters and counting.
We finally made it to Annapurna Lake. So you can see it from below. It's just acclimatization day. So nice to have a relaxing day.
Later that afternoon, we stumbled into a local festival, archery games, free food, smiling faces. We were welcomed like neighbors. It was one of those moments that remind you why you travel. The next day, we visited a quiet monastery and passed by what looked like an old abandoned village. It made me wonder, how did people live here? In this kind of cold, it's beautiful, yes, but also harsh. By now, the windows picking up the air was getting thinner. You could actually feel it. Every morning, we wake up early, greeted by different landscapes, eat a simple breakfast, and start walking before the weather turned. Afternoons were for rest or just catching up with loved ones while we still had signal. Our next stop, Tilicho Lake. Some trekkers skip it and go straight to Thorong La Pass, but not us. Tilicho is my favorite part of this whole road. No more roads, just trails. And lungs working harder than ever. We pushed through Shikarka at 4,080 meters and took us about 5 hours. Along the way, we had some lunch. Yeah, we've been walking for 3 hours now. We passed by monastery here. I think we're an hour away to your park.
No Wi-Fi. Let's connect with people.
No electricity. Having dinner. Yeah, we're now leaving Shikarka, going to Tilicho Base Camp. It's kind of short trek, but it's unlimited assault. And we're now 3,100. We were just gonna assault like 250 meters, but the oxygen is low here. Yes. Go Philippines! Pagkakaiba ng experience mo sa trekking dito compared sa Philippines.
Manipis ang hangin, ang number 1.
Parang kada kanto tumitigil kami para Yan, paparating na po tayo sa exciting part. Okay pa po ba, Team Philippines? Oh, Team Philippines! We're gonna climb there. If someone's gonna ask me what's my favorite landscape in Nepal, I would definitely answer this. The route going to Tilicho Lake. Sobrang ganda dito.
Even though I have been here before, I think I'm willing to go back as long as the weather is good. Although it's kind of downhill going to the base camp, so going back, I know that we're gonna suffer. After 3 hours of trekking from Shikarka, we made it to Tilicho base camp. There's a little bit of snowfall right now. And we're just gonna rest here and let's see.
We spent the night at the base camp and slept early because we had a 4 a.m. wake-up call. Na kami nag-crib ng dalbat. 5:30, we're about to go to Tilicho Lake. I hope we can make it.
To hike Tilicho Lake. I hope we can make it for the second time around. So we woke up at 4:30 and it's almost 6 a.m. right now, and we're gonna climb 700 meters descent going up. And let's see if we can make it. Wow, it's nice to be surrounded by this mountain. Sunrise. Let's just take it slow.
The trek to Tilicho Lake was no joke. From 4,200 meters to nearly 5,000 meters. It was the toughest day so far, but the reward? Watching the sunrise light up the Himalayas around us. Unforgettable.
Oh, Nepali ho!
Dolma Sherpa!
Tapay ka ha, inumay ko.
Mga Tilicho Lake हिँडेको हो 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 नमस्ते डोगदिया
I remember this place 2 years ago where we went back going to the base camp, so we just made it here. But right now this is the start of I think 22 turns going up. We just have to take it slow to make it there. Yeah, let's go.
Sabi nila, hindi namin kaya. Sabi nila, ano bang pinaglalaban namin?
Eh, pakin nyo ba? 20 minutes away going to Tilicho Lake. I thought it's already here, but it's further from here. And hindi tayo susuko. We're only 20 minutes away. There, so apparently we're still 20 minutes away going to the top. Maybe more. It depends on us. So I think going up there, it's all snowing now. But we're not gonna give up. We're almost there.
This wasn't just a physical battle anymore. It was mental. I kept reminding myself, you've done harder things. You can do things. I also kept cheering on my friend Katrish, who was struggling but never gave up. Most people had already reached the summit. We were moving slower, but steady. We saw what we thought was the lake, but it was just a false summit. After 6 hours of hiking, someone told us, 1 more hour. Honestly, it almost broke me. But at 11:30 a.m. we arrived. It's actually kinda late already. Tilicho Lake. Frozen, silent, and stunning.
For 4 hours, we finally made it to Tilicho Lake. My second attempt after 2 years. Yeah, it was tough. And now it's frozen. Pero sobrang payapa dito. Kami na lang yung tao. And I don't know if maging maganda pa yung weather mamaya. Pero ngayon gusto ko lang i-enjoy yung moment. Yes, 1:30. Nandito na kami sa tea house. Oh my gosh. Ayoko na gumalaw. It took us 7 hours trek.
And then another 3 hours to get to Shikarka before nightfall. On the way down, it started to rain. There were also some snowfall here. Horses blocked the narrow paths and landline zone became slippery and tense. Our guide kept watching the rocks as we pushed through.
Going back now to Shikarka. Now, there's a snowfall. But good thing we passed by the landslide area because it's kind of sketchy if we're gonna walk there. But it's snow.
At 5:30 p.m., we finally made it back to Shikarka.
Fresh na fresh.
Pero nag-bio Jessica. Ay, nag-alaksan.
Mag-alaksan ako later. Feeling ko kasi sasakit yung katawan ko tomorrow.
Nakalimutan ko yun.
I was exhausted. Light headache, cold, but we made it. Hot shower, hot meal, and the best tea house of the whole trek. Another day, another adventure. We started the trek from Shikarka to Lidar around 9 a.m. The air was crisp and the trail welcomed us with gradual ascent. By now, our bodies had acclimatized. Every breath felt a little easier than before. From the trail, we could see Manang in the distance, a tiny speck now tucked quietly between the valleys we left behind. The landscape here is stunning.
How are you again in Nepal? Tapay?
Tapaylay
Lai?
Kastusha.
Kastusha. Tapay Lai Kastusha. How do I answer?
Chikcha.
Malay Tikcha.
Yeah.
The air was thinner or steps heavier. Eventually, we reached Ledar, a much more remote village compared to the previous one. The next day was one of the toughest yet. We had two choices. Stop at Thorong Pedi or push all the way to Thorong High Camp. Most trekkers stop at Thorong Pedi, but even reaching that point was no easy task. The trail was relentless. Every step higher felt like we were walking through molasses. Slow, breathless. I found myself stopping every 2 minutes just to catch my breath. I've done this trail before, once with snow, but even now without it, the climb was still punishing. After few hours, we made it. Thorong Pedi at last. We had a quick lunch here. Instead of stopping for the night, we pushed through to Thorong High Camp. It would take another 2 hours of steep ascent, but it meant an easier summit day tomorrow. Thorong High Camp is the most remote and rugged tea house on the trail. We were sharing room for 4, no showers, no electricity, and the real challenge was only just beginning. At 4 a.m., under a sky still full of stars, we began our final ascent to Thorong La Pass, the highest point of the entire Annapurna Circuit.
Early in the morning at 5 a.m. we started walking going to Thorong La Pass, the last day of trekking. I hope we can make it.
The air was thin, every step was low, every breath intentional. But I was grateful. The weather was on our side. Up here, our snowstorm can change everything. And today, the mountain showed mercy. Many trekkers passed us by, but it reminded myself it's not a race. It doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you keep moving forward.
I remember this place 2 years ago. Dito kami nagkahiwalay. 2 years ago, this is the spot where we separated each other. So yeah, just have a little bit of headache right now, so I just take it. I'll just take it slow. Good thing there are many trekkers around, so you'll be motivated to walk. 15 minutes away. I don't know why I'm so tired right now. We're at 5,400 meters, 5,378, and 15 minutes away going there.
After 5 long hours, we made it. Thorong La
After
Pass.
9 days of trekking, we finally made it at Thorong La Pass at 5,416 meters. At mga finisher.
We all made it safe. And in the end, that's what matters most. After all the struggles, every step, every sore muscle, every cold night, it all led to this. We rested briefly at the tea house near the summit, sipping something warm to help our bodies adjust. Outside, the wind was unforgiving, too strong to stay long. But the journey wasn't over. Getting to the top is only half the story.
Made it here. And now the real challenge is to go down. And yeah, it may take around 4 hours to go
Now,
down.
we had to descend. From 5,416 meters to 3,800 meters, an endless downhill. And as the altitude dropped, the landscape began to change. The snowy alpine trails turned to vast open valleys. This is why I love Annapurna Circuit. Every day brings something different, but going down has its own battles. Now, It wasn't about the lungs anymore. It was the legs, tired and trembling, and the will to just keep going, even when you want to stop. This part felt like a game. You can pause or reset. Once you're in it, there's no turning back. You don't want to go back as well. You're so close to the finish line. So why give up now? By mid-afternoon, we could see Muktinath in the distance. That was it. The end of the trail, where the trek ends and the road begins. And for the first time in days, we saw signs of life. Shops, motorcycles, children playing, and when I look up, I could still see the mountains we were standing on just a few hours ago. So far away now, so quiet. After 10 days in the mountains, we were back in civilization. And in that moment, I realized something. It's not just the summit that changes you. It's everything in between. The silent mornings, the strength you didn't know you had, and the reminder that no matter how far, how slow, how uncertain, as long as you keep going, you will get there. And that's a wrap on my Annapurna Circuit adventure. Till the next hike, big thanks to Alpine Rumble Trek for helping me organize this unforgettable journey.